The Southern Upland Way, Day 4, Bargrennan to Cragen Bay, 24 miles. This turned out to be our longest day on the trail, but only just, because we had to slog it out for an extra 2 miles along a hard tarmac surface at the end of our day after reaching the old pickup point at Cragen Bay. This was because taxis are now refusing to drive there from the A712 due to the poor state of the road. There was nothing we could do or say to persuade our taxi driver to deviate from this new policy. Fortunately, we knew what was in store for us and had packed our road shoes in our rucksacks for those 2 hard miles, and they were a godsend, giving our poor, wet, battered feet some welcome relief. Heavy rain was forecast, and it did indeed rain hard. Alex also had several tick attacks, but we managed to successfully remove them with our tick removal tool. It was a pity that the clouds were so low, because this part of the trail runs through the very damp and soggy Galloway Forest Park and Galloway Hills into the Glen Kens, and we were unable to see the surrounding mountain ranges, which are supposed to be impressive and have amazing names such as the Range of the Awful Hand, the Rins of Kells, Rig of the Jarkness, Merrick, which is the highest peak in Scotland outside the Highlands, the Dungeon Range, the Minnigaff Hills, and Curlywee Hill. Glen Trool Forest, with its old trees, moss, and a sense of the forest watching you, could almost be likened to Fangorn Forest. This was the day when Alex's mobile phone died. Based on bitter experience myself, I always keep my phone in a plastic bag in my pocket, but Alex was convinced that the waterproof pockets in his jacket would be waterproof enough. What he didn't realise was that on day 4 he hadn't fully pulled up the zip, and water had pooled down into the bottom of his pocket and ruined his phone. We had a quick panic, because we are both fairly reliant on using the OS Maps app on our phones for navigating, although we always carry paper maps and a compass too, and for communicating with each other when we are not together. So Alex ordered a new phone to be delivered to the accommodation where we would be staying at on day 9. This meant that we had to walk fairly close together for 5 days and use my phone for navigation. A slight annoyance, but not really a major problem. Big lesson learnt. Leaving Bargrennan through the woods along the River Cree, Greater knapweed, which has been used traditionally for treating flesh wounds, sore throats, bleeding gums, and catarrh. Oxeye daisies, which have traditionally been used for treating respiratory complaints. We found our 3rd kist. By this time the rain had set in for earnest, and things started to get quite challenging. We took great care climbing over this stile, because the rain had made it very slippery. The Water of Minnock, the Water of Trool, Loch Trool, which is 1.2 miles long. The hills and moorland between Loch Trool and Loch Dee are apparently the site of the famous chase in John Buchan's novel, The 39 Steps. Some entertainment seen on the trail in the rain. Beautiful waterfall between Loch Trool and Loch Dee. One of the few photos that I took because it poured with rain for most of the day. a 1.5-ton runic stone overlooking Loch Dee, called the Giant Axe Head because it resembles a Neolithic stone axe. It is one of the 7 stained sculptures reflecting local myths or legends which can be found in southern Scotland. Loch Dee. Loch Dee, and things were looking up after 10 miles of foul weather and a very steep rocky trail. I found this lovely example of pebble art by the side of the trail above Loch Dee. This was the message on the back of the pebble. I took it as a good sign. Crossing the black water of Dee between Loch Dee and Clattering Shores Loch. By this stage the weather had improved and we actually had some sunshine during our final miles of the day. Clattering Shores Loch, and close to the start of our 2-mile tarmac hike to meet our taxi, which took us to our accommodation in St John's town of Dalry, through which we would be walking the following day. The loch is a reservoir which was created by damming the River Dee, and it is over 3 kilometres long and 2 kilometres wide. Please see my Day 5 video for the continuation.